What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Winner Circle Sports Podcast Series Review, Episode 8. I'm here with the host of last episode, Nardi. Everybody, I just want to congratulate him on a very successful solo episode last week in my absence because I really didn't watch any of those games, which I'm kind of glad about because the Mets got beat 2 times pretty badly by the Padres. Mets had the Angels this week. Nardi, who the Yanks have?
Cubs, Chicago Cubs.
Okay. They've been, I guess, a little hot and cold. I know they have Stroman. I know they have Gesellman. So a few ex-Mets. How'd they play?
So game 1 ended up being a 13-inning 1-1 game.
Wow.
Nothing really happened except for the fact that I think the speed of the pitches was off because Licky, who was averaging 93 to like 92, 93 miles an hour for a fastball, was averaging 99. And it said Severino hit 103, and I was like, yeah, something's wrong. We also couldn't get the game on because it was on like Amazon Prime, and we were at Kane's house, whatever. Game went to extras. Jose Trevino hit a walk-off single again. Congrats to Rod Mauriciano. Got his first MLB win, because we went through our entire bullpen 13 innings. So that was that. I'll do game 2 too. Game 2. We had 2 blowout wins over the Cubs in the next 2 games. So Judge led off the game, bottom 1 with another home run. That's his 23rd on the year. Stanton hit another home run. That was 120 off the bat. He tied this season's hardest hit, which was also by him. Glaber went back to back with Stanton. Then it was 3-0. Trevino hit another home run off the foul pole. It was 4-0. Judge then hit another one. His 24th. Rizzo hit one. IKF single. Glaber scored. Hicks scored after Aaron Judge, another RBI. Montgomery went 8 innings with like 6 or 7 strikeouts. Yanks won 8-0. With that game, that put Judge on pace for 66 homers on the year. So I think my estimate's a little off there, but I'll do game 3 too. Fuck it, we'll go right down. Yanks were losing 1-0, top 1. Then we magically put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the first inning, so it was 5-1 after that. And Matt Carpenter returned to the lineup, hit a 3-run home run. Then Hickey hit a solo home run. It was 9-1. Stanton doubled. It was 10-1. Rizzo singled. Carpenter hit another double. He also had another home run. And I missed a couple in there, but it somehow ended up being 18-4 at the end of the game. So there is one thing that I have to say. Stroman went on Twitter and posted something saying that how can the Yankees go in there Saturday night and only score 2 runs the entire game in 13 innings and put up 30 in the next 2? He was pissed. He said the Yankees are on to something with like a fucking smirk emoji or some shit. I was like, I don't know, man. Yankees are just hot right now, but I don't know. What's your opinion on Stroman? I don't know if you liked him when he was a Met or not.
Yeah, I obviously liked him when he was on our team, but now I don't. But to say something like that is like the dumbest thing I ever heard. Like, you can't have a good game and then a bad game. I mean, it's baseball. That seems ridiculous. Like, he thinks that they're tipping pitchers or something. Everybody just wants to be accused of accuse another team of cheating when they get beat really bad. So, fuck them.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think that's something accusing someone of something like that. That's a big accusation, especially in baseball. Like, you saw what happened to the Astros, how the manager got fired. A couple players got 10-game suspensions and stuff. A lot of people lost their pay. It's just, that's a big accusation, especially coming from a team that's really now they're 12 games below 500. Like, a team that's that bad. And again, it's a rookie who was pitching in the 3rd game too. Another kid, he's coming to the Bronx. He's pitching and he's got to come up against Stanton, Judge, and Gallo, who are amazing the last couple of games. I don't know. It's one of those things that you can't go around accusing. There's also one more thing. Matt Carpenter is only the 2nd player in the modern era to hit 6 home runs with within his first 7 hits with a team. Let me just his first 7 hits, 6 of them were home runs. And this is only in 10 games. I don't know why we don't play him more, but it's probably everyone knew this would happen though when Stanton came back someone was going to have to sit the bench, and it just happened to be the red hot Matt Carpenter. So, yeah. So, how'd the Mets do?
I wanted to talk about a little bit of a broader overview about how the Mets have done, not only in this last 10-game road trip, but in their last 22 games. So this is a tweet from the Mets boy, Steve Gelbs. He said, the Mets just wrapped up a stretch of 22 games in 23 days. So only 1 day rest in the last 23 days. 16 of those games were played on Mountain and Pacific time zones. So obviously for us, that's 2 to 3 hours behind us. So, the jet lag, getting adjusted to playing in, Colorado, that altitude, all that kind of stuff in the last 22 games. Overall, they went 14-8 in those 22 games. And I and Steve himself, and I'm sure any Mets fan would be very happy to call that a success. And in terms of this road trip, which was super hyped up, 10 games, 1 day's rest against the Dodgers, the Padres, and kind of the ice cold Angels. But, at the time, people think the Angels could be a contender. Those 3 teams, 9 games or 10 games in 11 days. And we ended up splitting, going 5-5 in the last 3 series against those teams. So again, that's basically exactly what I wanted. No, let me change that. That was the least of what I wanted. I did not want anything less than a split, and I wouldn't have been happy with the team's performance. Obviously, I would have been happy with more than that, but I'm fine with the split. Absolutely fine. Let's come back home. Let's rest up, and let's start hitting the balls again. So the first game, most of our run production came from the 1 and 2 hitters, which was Brandon Nimmo and Mark Canha. And personally, I like to see Canha in that 2 spot. I think you get both of those guys. I mean, the reason why you have your leadoff hitter be a guy who, 1, gets a lot of walks, 2, gets a lot of hits, and 3, always gives a tough at-bat. When you put Brandon Nimmo and Mark Canha in the top of the lineup and that starting pitcher, if he's not starting throwing his best stuff and he walks one or he gives up a hit and he walks both of them, I mean, you have 1 to 2 runners on base with Lindor and Pete coming up next. I mean, that's a bad situation to be in early in the game. And personally, I think that we need to have Canha in the 2 spot a little bit more because that game just proved, I mean, Nimmo had 2 runs himself. Canha didn't have any runs, but they each had 3 RBIs. So, they're knocking each other in those spots. And, you got the guys like Pete and Lindor coming up after that and knocking them in once they get on base. So I kind of really like that lineup. We won that game 7-3. And that was just a good game to start off. The second game, Mike Trout came back. He was out with a groin injury for the last few days. He hit 2 home runs. We got smacked around. Cookie was on the mound. He has been our most improved pitcher. He's been probably, I'd be happy to say, our best pitcher this year. And he had to get rocked. I mean, he just had to get rocked. There's no problem. He's going to come back throwing it good. He still got the over on the strikeout, so that's all that matters. But he did get hit around a little bit. And actually, an Angels player, which I find it interesting that in the last 2 series, we had a Met hit for the cycle, and then we watched somebody hit for the cycle against us. I just want to remember his name. I think it was Joe Walsh.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's Joe or Jared, but his last name is 100% Walsh.
Something Walsh hit a cycle.
If I'm not mistaken, Shohei was a double off the cycle?
I'm not sure.
I think he was a double off the cycle because him and Walsh are both on cycle watch going into the 8th inning. So, yeah.
That's cool. You got like a notification?
Oh, yeah.
That's tough. So, okay, since you have notifications like that, how often have you been seeing that? Like, have there been a lot of people that have gotten a cycle this year, like around the league? Or?
I know Yelich hit his 3rd of his career a while back, all against the same team. He's hit 3, and they've all been against the Reds. Mm-hmm. And he's like the first player in the last like 30 years or 20 years to do that too. Like, it doesn't happen that often, cycles. I've seen more no-hit notifications or perfect game notifications than I have for
cycle
than that. Yeah. And there's only been 2 no-hitters this year?
Yeah, a lot of close.
I think there's 2. Like you said. Last year there was a lot. Last year they had the most in a single season in a long time. There was like 24 or something. Mm-hmm. Although there hasn't been any perfect games in a while, though. I don't think so anyway.
Mm-hmm. But that game obviously didn't go as well for us. We ended up losing that game pretty bad. They put a beating on us, but that's what kind of set us up for this last game of the series against the Angels in a 3-game set. We had to win the series and to also split that 10-game road trip. So obviously going into it, I really wanted to win. Taijuan Walker on the bump, pitched a gem, 10 strikeouts. I mean, his stuff was there. He had a nasty splitter. He got basically everybody but Mike Trout, who was mic'd up. He said he missed his pitch. He threw it again to him the next at bat. Obviously, we should have had somebody watching the broadcast to tell Walker not to throw that splitter again. So he threw it, and he took it maybe 375 feet just left of the foul pole. So he liked that pitch, and I'm glad he didn't hit it out. But that was another good game for the Mets. The Mets got the W. Like I said, we got 5 out of 10 on the road trip. Beat the Angels in the series. And I got to say, like I said before, I'm very happy with that. I'm just glad to be home. And a good stat about the Mets is for the rest of the season, they are only going to play 3 games that air later than 7 o'clock, which means I will be able to watch all the games now, no more later than my bedtime. I'll be locked into the Mets watching all but 3. Maybe since there's only 3, I know, I'll go ahead and I'll stay at the Mets here. But success for the Mets, and it sounds like pretty good. Did the Yankees win the first game, you said?
Yeah, they swept again, yeah.
Break them out, baby. Break them out.
And Mets and Yankees are also the first 2 teams to 40 wins. And NY runs New York. You got to do it the other hand.
Yeah,
right hand 4, other hand 0. But, yeah, there you go. It's so NY runs baseball. It's a good thing too because there's nothing else to watch around here. The Rangers just lost too, so
we won't talk about that. But one thing I wanted to mention, my boy Juan won a Gold Glove with us in 2014. He's one of my favorite players. He was on the Angels. Unfortunately, he was like ice cold at the plate, which is why he left the Mets because he was a great center fielder, but he could just never hit the ball. And I think I might have saw him get 1 hit the whole series, if that. So, yeah, he's still ice cold at the plate. He's still the same guy I love. So, Juan, this one is for you if you're watching.
Another, funny stat. Kyle Higashioka, his second home run in that 18-4 game was the slowest pitch hit for a home run in MLB history. The guy lobbed in, Frank Schwindel lobbed in a 35.1 mile an hour ball that just hung up. And Higgy, who's been struggling really offensively this year, just kind of turned on it, stat padding. I know Yerman got in trouble for that when he did that with the White Sox. And, I forgot his name. Tony La Russa got really pissed off that he did that. But I mean, the Yanks are having fun. Just keep having fun. The clubhouse chemistry is immaculate. It's been great over here in the Bronx. So I don't know what they need to do to improve it. I don't think they can improve it any more than they already have.
Yeah, you know what probably happened? He probably saw the catcher throw down the moon ball sign and he knew it was coming. He knew the moon ball was coming and he just sat back on it and he took it. But I think that concludes it. I would say a very successful series for both New York teams and a very successful last 2 weeks. So we're moving on to the new front. The Mets are coming back home. Nardi, who do the Yankees have?
The Yankees have a hard 2 series coming up. They have Tampa at home and then the Blue Jays at home back-to-back, both 3 games.
Division games, those are huge,
yeah.
Man. Those are huge. Gotta win those. So the Mets are coming home, and they have the Brewers, which we were just mentioning, Christian Yelich. So it'll be exciting to see. We're staying with that Cali kind of trend, those teams around there. And luckily we have this one coming to us. But I think that'll be a good series. I think their reliever, Josh Hader, right?
He's still hurt, I believe, yeah.
Okay. I know they have one reliever. He just gave up his first run in 30-something innings.
Oh, yeah, it's probably him then. It's probably Hader.
Yeah, he's scary. You don't want to be down in the 9th inning against that guy. So let's hope we do well early in those games because that guy is a closer to the T. But thank you so much for watching. We will make sure to update you on the next series. Nardi, thank you as always. It's a pleasure, kid. Welcome back. Episode 8. 8 episodes, Nardi.